Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to That Paradox Computing. We're here to take a look at a really awesome mod that has just dropped for Computercraft called Quadracopters by Lyqyd. It adds these rad little quadricopters here that you can see. And what they do is they can move around and pick up items out of inventories and stuff and move them around. They're kind of like pipes for Computercraft. They're programmed using Computercraft, so use Lua to tell them where to go. So we've got two variants. We've got these guys flying around the bottom here. These are item quadricopters. They move around items. Up the top, you can see these guys have these little tanks on them. Well, they're for moving fluids around. They're fluid quadricopters. Very, very cool. So let's see the building recipes here, the crafting recipes here. Yep, stone, iron, redstone gets you 8 quadricopters, and 8 around a bucket gets you 8 liquid quadricopters. Fluid quadricopters? Fluid quadricopters. Nice. So that's the boring stuff. Just use NEI. Don't know why I even bother with recipes. To use them, you're going to need one of these guys, the base block. And you need to attach that to a computer. So here we have one that I prepared earlier. Cool, so let's get into the programming. Let's get into the fun stuff. So to tell these guys how to move around, basically you've got to give them a direction and the number of blocks they got to travel. It's not too hard. First off, we're going to have to wrap that base as a peripheral, so we'll call it base, and we'll say equals peripheral.wrap on the top of the computer. Nice. Cool, so we've got our peripheral wrapped. Now, how are we going to tell it how to go around? Well, probably easiest way is let's create an empty variable called path, because this is going to be the path that the quadricopter is going to travel on. And we've got to give it a table with all these directions. Very simple to program in. First off, so that's creating our table with the curly bracket there, and then you just give it a string that contains a direction and a distance. So we'll just say up and 4. Why not? So we'll just tell it to go up 4. And then we'll give it another string to tell it to come back down. So we'll say down 4. Simple, simple stuff. So that's our table, that's our path, that's done. It's getting dark. I may just reset the time. There we go. Nice. Okay, so that's our path done. So how do we now execute the path now that we've got it? We use, we named our peripheral base, so it's base, or whatever you name your peripheral, .flyQuad. And then we'll tell it the table, which we called path. There, done. And what that's going to do is launch this little quadricopter in here. He's going to go up 4 blocks, he's going to come back down. Hopefully I can hit enter, escape, get back to my mouse in time to see that. There you go. So yeah, that's like how simple it is to actually get this stuff going. Now let's get him to move some stuff between these two chests. So we'll edit path again. So we'll say path equals, so wrong thing. Path equals, and let's make a slightly more complicated table here. Again, it's all just directions and distances. So this time we're going to say, let's go, well, okay, we've done up and down. Now, how do we get him to get over here? Well, if you look at my mini-map, that direction is north. So up there on the mini-map, north. So we're just going to tell him to travel north, and we'll tell him to go to that first inventory, which is 1, 2 blocks over. So we'll just say go north 2 blocks, and then we're going to get him to suck, which is going to be how he actually knows to pick up items from the inventory. Now he can carry a stack. He'll go for the first stack in the chest. So suck. Cool, it's done that. Now we want to get over to the next inventory, which is what, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks away. So we'll just say go north 4 blocks again. Spell north with 1 N. North 4 blocks, excellent. And then once he's on top of that, we're going to get him to drop. Cool, and then once he's done that, we'll just throw in another new command here, which is return. And what that gets the turtle to do, I might say that a few times. These aren't turtles. What that gets the quadricopter to do is actually return back to the base. It'll just retrace its steps and come back. And it also won't perform any of these drop or suck actions when it returns. All it will do is just use its directional stuff to find its way back home. Very cool. So let's path has been updated now, and we'll say, fly my pretty fly. And he moved the, yeah, it all happened very quickly, but he moved them. Maybe let's just do it from down here somewhere where I might be able to see it. So yeah, now you can see it in the top corner of the screen. And bam, he gets them, he drops them, he comes back home. What a little trooper. Nice. Okay, guys. Something else you can do is another little bit of programming stuff is you can actually say base.program and then give it your table. In our case, we made path equal that table. So if we now program path in true. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bam, break the computer, and I'm going to go and get myself a button, put the button on the base here, and check this out. When we give it a redstone pulse, I'm just going to grab those, you can probably guess what's going to happen. Bam. He's going. There's no computer, there's no nothing. So if you use that program command, you can actually make the block remember its instructions for the quadcopters. Now that is nifty. If you had, a whole bunch of bases you needed doing the exact same thing, put them down next to a computer, just keep hitting that program command, or even chuck it in a while true do loop or something, and there you go. You could just pump out as many as you want. Very, very cool. All right, so let's see some more useful, interesting stuff happening. Well, here we've got some machines, so we can start playing around with machines and inputs and stuff. Now, something to bear in mind about these quadricopters is they can only interact with the top of an inventory, so because they've got to drop things in from like above them. So that's something to bear in mind. So when we set up this magma crucible here, we need to make sure that well, if we're going to put stuff directly into the magma crucible, we would drop that in the top. But actually, what I want is to use this magma crucible I want to take the lava out of that and move it to a block over there. So I'm going to need to have a quadricopter extract stuff out the top, which is where this handy item hopper comes in useful, because I can now set this side to be an inventory and just get the quadricopter to drop stuff in there. So let's give that a go. So we've got an item quadricopter in here, and if I edit startup, we can have a little look at the code. So this time I'm using base.flyQuad. Now before I was assigning this here, this guy, the table, to a variable of path. Well, you can just chuck the table straight into the flyQuad commands. So here what I'm doing is going south, is going down, is going all over the place, sucking, dropping, and doing things. What he's going to do is he's going to go up, he's going to fly out this little hole here, and outside in this chest, just underneath, got a bunch of cobblestone, which is then going to fly back in, drop down into this item hopper, which is then going to start the magma crucible making lava. So let's see that in action. Start up. Bam. He just went outside. He's come back. Hey, he dropped it. So that's something really cool. He noticed he didn't come down and drop it in there. He can just drop items in the air and they'll fall. And in this case, they fell into an item hopper. Very handy. So we've got our magma crucibles now starting to make lava. It's slowly filling up from the item hopper. Very cool. Okay, so next we're going to take a look at these fluid quadricopters and see what they do. Now these guys basically work exactly the same, except they use fluids, or they carry, sorry, fluids. So if I look at a program that I've made, here we go. So they use the exact same commands. They still use suck, they still use drop, except they just move fluids. Nothing that different. This time I've incorporated this into a while true do loop, which means it's going to just keep happening repeatedly until you kill the program or the computer turns off or whatever. So let's see fluids in action. So we've built up a bit of lava in here, and it's going to be coming over here to this fluid transposer, which it's just going to drop the lava into. But this will work with basically all fluids, which is kind of nifty. So let's run start up, and we'll see him go. Bam, he just dropped that in, and we got a little bit of lava in the fluid transposer. And now he'll just continue doing that. That's great. If we get in his way, he pretty much just flies through us. If we build something in his way, whoa, he'll just sit there. But if we break it, bam, he'll just keep on going, doing his thing. So that's good to know. Oh, actually, while I'm moving around these base blocks, something also that just realized I forgot to mention, if I actually break this this block, you may notice, oh, did it actually stack with base block? Hold on one second. Let me just get into my survival inventory. Oh, here we go. Look at this. It came back to us as a programmed base block, and it won't stack with these ones. Well, it's because actually, if you move it around, if you break it, it still continues to remember its program. So we'll give him a quadricopter. Bam, and look at that. Look at that. And of course, I could give him a whole stack of quadricopters and just keep hitting the button, and it will send out heaps to do this. Very fun. Nice. So what else? There is a command which I haven't gotten into, which basically it's called vacuum. So you just chuck just like that, VACWM. That's would get the quadricopter to just continually keep trying to suck things until it's told to stop vacuuming. So that's, yeah. Besides that, guys, well, look, you can break them by left-clicking, and they'll just drop. So if you see one flying through the air and you want to steal someone's stuff, hey, just smash it. No worries. Also, if you, the chunk loading. That's something to mention. These guys will not work if a chunk isn't loaded. Obviously, they won't chunk load while they're flying, so you do need to bear that in mind. But as soon as the chunk is loaded, they just resume exactly as they left off. Apparently, that's what Lyqyd, the developer, says. So that's good to know. Alright, guys, well, I think that's about it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought in the comments. I hope you guys try out this fantastic mod. And yes, I hope you have fun with it, most importantly, because that's why we're all here. Check out my channel if you want to see some of my Computercraft creations and things. Besides that, guys, look, thanks for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.